I think Jake Paul is crazy enough to fight Anthony Joshua because the money would be absolutely obscene. It's a catastrophic mismatch that people would tune in to watch because it would lead to the end of Jake Paul.
Jake Paul stepping into the ring against Anthony Joshua is arguably one of the most talked about and controversial potential matchups in recent boxing history, and Eddie Hearn, the renowned matchroom promoter, has been extremely vocal about why he believes this could be a monumental mistake for the young YouTuber-turned-boxer. Hearn's perspective is clear. While the fight might offer obscene financial rewards and generate massive attention from casual fans and mainstream audiences, the sheer mismatch in experience, size, and skill between Jake Paul and a former two-time unified heavyweight champion like Anthony Joshua is staggering, and the consequences for Paul could be career-altering, if not catastrophic. Hearn has stated on multiple occasions that the fight is not simply a money grab or a flashy spectacle for Netflix or casual viewers, but carries very real risks that could end Paul's professional boxing journey before it even truly begins at the elite level. Hearn points out that Joshua's power, technical proficiency, and proven experience in high-stakes bouts are of such a high caliber that Paul, despite his growing fame and undefeated streak against non-traditional opponents, would be stepping into a situation where his survival and career credibility are genuinely at risk. According to Hearn, the mismatch between Paul and Joshua is not theoretical. It is tangible, measurable, and could result in an outcome that is damaging physically, mentally, and professionally for Paul. In interviews, Hearn has emphasized that while Joshua might view the fight as an easy payday or a warm-up to bigger title fights, from Paul's perspective, the potential reward of taking on such a formidable opponent must be weighed against the possibility of a devastating defeat, which could halt the momentum he has built in his boxing career. Fans and media alike have speculated that the fight is in advanced negotiations for a December bout in Miami, potentially streamed globally via Netflix, although no official agreements have been finalized. Hearn acknowledges that while discussions are ongoing and the financial upside is enormous, the primary focus for Joshua and his team remains reclaiming a path toward a world heavyweight championship and possibly a showdown with Tyson Fury, not merely participating in a spectacle designed for media hype. The financial allure, however, cannot be underestimated, as Paul has consistently demonstrated his ability to leverage mainstream fame into boxing opportunities that draw massive viewership, generate substantial pay-per-view sales, and attract attention from audiences who would not typically follow professional boxing. Yet, the danger lies not in the spectacle itself, but in the inherent mismatch that would occur inside the ring. Joshua is a physically imposing heavyweight with championship experience, and Paul, although highly trained and motivated, has not faced competitors of this caliber, making the risks of a brutal knockout or other serious consequences alarmingly high. Hearn's assessment is reinforced by the opinions of other seasoned professionals in the sport. Roy Jones Jr., for instance, has pointed out that while a matchup could theoretically happen if Joshua desired it, the fight must make sense both competitively and financially, stressing that Paul is not yet a boxer capable of consistently matching someone of Joshua's pedigree. Similarly, Leon Edwards, speaking from the perspective of a professional fighter, indicated that the bout would be heavily tilted in Joshua's favor, reflecting the perception that Paul would be taking a significant step up in challenge that could expose him to both physical risk and reputational damage. Stephen A. Smith has been highly critical of Paul's choice of opponents throughout his boxing career, repeatedly highlighting that many of the athletes Paul has faced were either past their prime, non-boxers, or MMA fighters with limited boxing experience, and arguing that for Paul to gain legitimacy, he needs to face active boxers of similar age and caliber rather than chasing marquee names purely for entertainment value. Smith emphasizes that while Paul's courage in challenging such opponents is noteworthy, it does not translate into the kind of competitive merit that would solidify his standing in the sport. Mike Tyson and Tyson Fury have taken contrasting stances on Paul's chances. Fury, in particular, has boldly declared that he would bet a significant sum on Paul knocking out Joshua, praising Paul's heavyweight physique, his muscular development, and his fearless mindset in challenging competitors across different weight classes. This perspective illustrates that despite widespread criticism, there is recognition of Paul's ability to create buzz and generate attention, which in turn could inject fresh energy into the sport of boxing by bringing new audiences who might otherwise not engage with traditional boxing events. From the narrative of Jake Paul himself, he has defended his record and choices of opponents, citing attempts to fight Tommy Fury and other notable names, asserting that he has consistently sought challenges that align with his career trajectory while simultaneously building his brand and fan base. Paul maintains that he is taking boxing seriously, training with professional trainers, and seeking to prove himself against opponents who can test his abilities, even if the matchmaking often favors entertainment value. Hearn and others, however, caution that despite Paul's preparation and dedication, stepping into the ring with a former world champion of Joshua's caliber is a different magnitude of challenge altogether. The concerns are not solely about competitive fairness, but about health and safety. Hearn has explicitly stated that the danger is real, highlighting the possibility of career-ending consequences should Paul be overpowered by Joshua, whose strength, speed, and knockout ability have been demonstrated repeatedly at the elite level. Hearn also notes that Joshua's team is focused on the world heavyweight title, and any fight with Paul should be considered secondary to those primary career objectives. The potential for the fight to be classified as an exhibition or professional bout remains uncertain, raising additional questions about rankings, official records, sanctioning, and regulatory oversight. Derek Chisora and other heavyweight veterans have voiced outright condemnation of the idea, particularly criticizing the WBC for offering a cruiserweight ranking to the winner, which some see as devaluing the sport and the legitimate efforts of active professional boxers. This controversy underscores the tension within boxing between commercial spectacle and competitive integrity, as well as the broader debate about how personalities like Jake Paul fit into the traditional boxing landscape. From a commercial standpoint, however, the fight has undeniable appeal. Paul has proven his ability to attract global attention, generate media coverage, and draw in audiences who may not typically follow professional boxing. Critics may focus on the mismatch and reputational risks for Joshua, but supporters recognize the promotional potential and the opportunity to create a spectacle that captivates mainstream audiences while potentially introducing new fans to the sport. Hearn, while skeptical of Paul's chances, acknowledges that the commercial draw is significant and that discussions about the fight are ongoing, though not finalized. Analysts have noted that Paul's career